Ain't too many can play with us. See where this game here taking us. No barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much. Actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard from your mom to your pop to the beat to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, no. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Yeah, I've been so my frustration. I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece. That mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't panic surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like what? Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. Whole squad like yeah. And it feel like yeah. All day like yeah. All night like yeah. You don't want problems. You don't want smoke, no. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems. You don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. S-T-R-O. Yeah.
How many of y'all came to win?
Oh, they asking my name, huh?
You ready?
S-T-R-O. I ain't come to play with you.
Yeah.
Life challenging, but I wouldn't trade with you. It's early, I'm up.
Yeah.
I can't spend the day with you. I'm minding my business. I ain't getting paid with you. My color bright.
Yep.
I ain't finna fade with you. Man, I gotta come clean like I'm made with you. I've been on my everybody drop when I drop. Look at shorty, she support.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
So first and 10 now from the 30.
They can't hang with us.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
Now Jackson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 26 and a first down. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 41. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 28-yard line.
Come on, set. 7 to Indy. 55, Mike. Get ready, get ready, get ready. X3, X3, that's it.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. In for the score as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25.
Let's go. 15 line. 15 line. Clear. Check. Fire.
On 1st down, Stanley. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And got his man complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. Heck of a start. A 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. The first carry for Josh Adams. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They run on 2nd down with Adams. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
And it brings up 3rd down.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. Back to throw. Stanley. He's got his man, Boyd. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count. You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. On the ground, right side, it's Adams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. From the gun, Jackson. And he fires one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by J.J. Watt. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
It is hard in zone coverage to stop a curl route because when they see it, they just try and find the open spot and sit down.
Yeah, we always talk about finding the soft spot in the zone. What's the key to doing that? How do you do it?
You have to read what the coverage is. Is it too deep? Is it 3?
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away.
The Steelers
Let's go,
recover first and
let's go.
10 at their own 20-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
65.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
55. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. Mark 55. Mark 55.
From the gun, it's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 41 yards.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. Oh, he almost had it for the pick. A great chance there for the interception in the end zone. Instead, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. He's going to take a shot for the end zone, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
On first down, this is Adams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Adams. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And he'll hit Jeffrey, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Let's get it.
The Bengals on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Stanley. He's going to look deep down the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. A carry for Adams. Tackle made there by Jabril Peppers.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
57's the mic. Watch 57. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 57's the mic.
from the gun. Jackson. He finds his running back, Nixon. Give him 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down.
57, Mike, 57. You're trapped.
Jackson operating from the gun. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Looking to throw. Stanley nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ramsey with a sack on the corner blitz.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Returning it is Moore. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Stanley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
A good pick up there, 26 yards.
Well, there's simply no sense in wasting a great catch like that on a short gain. Get downfield like you just did there and use it up that way.
No dink and dunk. First down. Here's the run with Anderson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stanley. That's brought in by Jeffrey. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 21. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They looked like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Tackle was made by Joel Iyiegbuniwe.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On 2nd down now, it's Adams. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. 10, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Joe Mixon, 83 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. If someone's down 3 scores, that situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Around the NFL, third quarter from Foxborough. The Patriots, they've opened a 2-touchdown advantage in that one. They'll begin the drive with Hunt, and we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Ready? Stop your whining.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
Kill. 66, pull it, high.
Now Jackson on first down. That's complete. It's Collins. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They have pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Well, no takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A good pickup there, a 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go.
And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
And the Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Jackson. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Rosas good with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That goes for a gain of 31. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, Stanley. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Nick Bosa able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can...
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. On 4th down, Stanley. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Watch right, we got right. You don't want that.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A gain of 10. Good for a Steeler first down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And a pretty good run there as he gets 7 down to the 33.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll try to run for the first down with Hunt. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to be incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Bengals will get the football back. The Bengals drive about to get going. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see with under pressure, and they got to him again. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He completes it to Boyd. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
Check, ready, to mine. Check, 55, anyway. Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up.
Mixon with a first down carry. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. First down marker at the 31. It's third down. To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Steelers, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.